What's up, guys? Welcome to Knockers on the Bottom. I'm your host, Jay Mill. Jay Miller, if you like. So let's get into it. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But yeah, let's get into it. So today I want to take a look and kind of autopsy the game of the Cowboys versus the Jets. The Cowboys played pretty well in some areas, and in most areas actually, honestly. And then they had just a couple of areas here and there that they didn't do so well in, but for the most part, hey, to come out of there with a win, 37-22. A lot of times when the Cowboys win these games, we hear a lot about like, oh, it was only the Jets. Or after the Green Bay game, we hear, the Packers defense wasn't that good anyway. That's BS to me, because going into the game, and I'm included, we were telling you, hey, that Packers defense is legit, or hey, this New York Jets defense plays pretty well. Their biggest problem is tackling, or Justin Fields is a good running quarterback. He's going to give the Cowboys problems, or Garrett Wilson's an awesome wide receiver. He's going to go down the field. All these things were true. So I hate when after the fact people try to act like they weren't true. But let's get into it. So we're going to take a look here at the Cowboys and one of their pretty horrible plays in the game, honestly. It's early in the second quarter. It's 1st and 10. You see the Jets come out here. So as they're lined up, Justin Fields is in a shotgun. It looks more like a pistol. Breece Hall is directly behind him. You see the Jets match it with 5 down linemen and a tight end close to the line of scrimmage here. And the Cowboys match it with, what can we see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys in the box, right? So let's take a look at how this unfurls here. So the Cowboys have 7 guys in the box. Now, the Jets throw a little bit of motion here. And as you see, the linebackers shift over, but everybody's job is pretty much the same. So now you end up with a 2 tight end set, one on each side, and it's still in that like sort of pistol formation. Cowboys don't bring anybody else down to kind of match it. So on the snap of the ball, boom, you see the defensive tackle take a hard rush inside here, right? And you see double team here, but these linebackers are pretty clean and free. This guy's going out there. So I understand why this guy here is kind of just chilling, right? If you look at the snap of the ball, once the play is kind of development, boom, he sets up there, but his job is to look at that read option, right? So his first job is to read to see if the quarterback keeps the ball, because the quarterback keeps the ball, is his responsibility to keep outside leverage and force that guy back inside. And then it's this guy's job to, keep that gap clear. And then this guy's job to keep that gap clear. This guy's job to keep that gap clear or scrape to the outside. So he's playing it how he should. So he had to hesitate for a second just to make sure Justin Fields didn't keep the ball. Now, once he reads, he's just not fast enough to get there, right? I mean, Dante Fowler's a pretty fast guy, but he's not fast enough to get there. But Breece Hall's in the hole. So this guy, he's kind of trying to shed this block. It looks like he's going to make the tackle, right? Nope. Arm tackle, one-handed. That's not good at all. And what happens? Breece is to the open field. Boom. The Cowboys get a good hit on him. The ball comes out, but it's late. He was already down by contact. It wasn't terrible run defense. What you're looking for here, right, is when that guy had an opportunity, and I believe it's Shamar James. When Shamar James comes downhill, right, and boom, gets into that guy and has the opportunity to shed and make that tackle, he's gotta come at him better than just that one arm. Also, this guy's got to help there. He's too busy fighting that block, and because of that, he just gets washed out of the play. And that's our linebacker friend there that we got from the Chargers that hasn't necessarily been playing as well as I thought he might. I knew he wasn't going to be fantastic, but Kenneth Murray has got to use some of that power there to get off the ball. So let's take a look, excuse me, at another play. And this one, honestly, is more the same. It's just we got lucky that the result was a little bit different on this play. So let's check it out. The Jets come out, 5 down linemen, tight end to the outside, fullback and Breece Hall in the backfield, right? Some motion at the snap again. Boom, as we see. Cowboys match with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The only difference is, looks like Wanye Thomas is starting to cheat down a little bit to try to help out in the play. So boom. On the snap of the ball, this is one of the worst things that I saw on the film. So on the snap of the ball, boom, it looks like the double team is taken here and the double team is taken here. You have this guy coming down crashing. Now, if you're looking, right, the last play, the tight end kind of led the way of where to go. on this play, the tight end's kind of scraping this way to take that guy backside. So now you've got to shoot that gap, and you've got to shoot that gap, and you've got to shoot that gap. Close this down. But instead, what happens? He kind of just takes himself out of the play. He lined up in the play. He takes himself out of the play. And one of the things that Shamar James does here that I don't like at all, this guy right here, if you watch him closely, he just jumps around the block, right? He's here. He's square. Instead of shooting that gap, right, instead of boom, right here, right now, what does he do? He sees this guy coming up to get him, so he just jumps around the block and creates a gigantic hole. Now, the result of this play ends up being good for the Cowboys, but in the grand scheme of things, over the course of, 60 defensive plays throughout the game, probably about 25 rushes throughout the game, it's not always going to end up going well for you. So you don't want to jump around that block and take yourself out of the play. But that's exactly what he did there. Boom, arm tackle. And then Donovan Wilson, boom, he gets stiff arm, but Maris Leofau comes to save the day, punches out the ball. It's on the ground, and the Cowboys get it. If it wasn't for Maris Leofau hustling in this play, I mean, that could have been a big play for the Jets. It was only 10-3 at the time. They were marching down the field, and Breece Hall was running his ass off. And you kind of need your linebackers there to stop trying to jump around plays. I can't blame Shamar James too much. He's a young guy, and I'm pretty sure when he was at Florida, he probably used to jump around these plays all the time and still make the tackle. But this is the NFL. These guys are too fast. They're too technique sound, and just because you can jump around a guy in college and make a play because there's 6 or 7 guys missing their assignment, or 6 or 7 guys who are not fast enough to get to you in the NFL, you might have one bad assignment. The other guys are going to do their job. So you're not going to jump around that play and still make it. It doesn't matter how fast you are. It doesn't matter how strong you are. But he is a rookie. Those are things that he'll see on film and he'll learn. So now let's get to some of the good stuff and the Cowboys game. This one is not so good, but I feel like it is because, again, it's something that they'll see on tape and be able to correct going into next week. So let's take a look here. So the Cowboys, right, they come out and they're on offense. And let's see here. There's 3 wide receivers, 1 running back in the backfield, tight end over here. And the Jets match it in nickel, right? They match in nickel. They walk a guy out. So Dak Prescott is in shotgun here. Guy goes in motion, right? And it's Hunter Lipke. It's probably just there to kind of chip on the edge, make sure the pocket is nice and clear. But the formation, is very condensed here. The only guy really on his own is here. Now, this is going to go for an incompletion, but let's just take a look. It's George Pickens, right? Boom. On a snap of the ball, Dak gets a good play action fake. He gets to the top of his drop, right? Now, at the top of his drop, everything is pretty much covered. It looks like it's only a 2-man route. And in this route, he's going to read Jalen Tolbert. That's where he's going to go because he's going to see this single high safety here double teaming on George Pickens. But I just want to let you watch it as it rolls. Boom, he makes the decision on Tolbert here. But if you see Pickens makes a nice cut inside at the top of his route, and if Dak lays this out right in this area, I mean, the safety is nowhere to be found. If Dak puts that out in front of Pickens in that area, even on a 2-man route, I mean, Pickens is going to pick up at least the first down. It's only 1st and 10, so it's not like this was a 3rd down play, but he's going to pick up the first down and have an explosive chunk play. So, Dak was trying to make sure he was smart, keep his offense in the best position to succeed. But the other part, if you notice on this play, when Dak gets to the top of his drop, even before he makes the decision to go, there's nobody around him, right? So they max protect it, and the protection is good, and the deep shot is there. So just trust what you set up, right? Read touchdown to check down. You should be looking at that touchdown first, which is the deep shot to George Pickens, because if he does lay it up in this area as we're talking about, right, and Pickens breaks 1 tackle, he's gone. He's gone. He's behind that guy. He doesn't know that the ball's not coming, right? So he's here. He's running this route. This guy is beat. And this guy's that's way too much distance in the NFL to close that gap before the ball gets there. It's just Dak didn't want to give it time. And I understand, right? You know that you have a compromised offensive line in this game. You're trying to make sure that you put your guys in the best positions to succeed. And he probably went into this game going, don't hold on to the ball, right? Now, this is early in the first quarter. Now we're going to see where it pays off a little bit later, right? So this is the third quarter. So this is after they've kind of established here, okay, we can block these guys up. You know, when we're reading it deep, and Shotty probably went in at halftime, showed in that play like, hey, man, you got George Pickens down the field. If you wanted to go there, you could have went there. So what do? Hey, this time Dak's going to hold on to it, and he's going to take that deep shot, right? It's not the same exact play, but it's a very similar concept, right? Dak Prescott is over there thinking, hey, man, we got this guy in motion. Protection's going to be holding up, look good. The Cowboys are going to keep some guys in at this point. So now let's take a look. Boom, another play action right now. Again, the offensive line is holding up. And again, you see it's a two-man route, right? So the Jets this time don't provide much safety help over the top for George Pickens. Both of them, for some reason, both of these guys go with the underneath guy, and it's probably because the last time they saw this, Dak Prescott went to Jalen Tolbert, and they were able to stop the pass for an incompletion. This time, Dak still clean pocket, holds on to the ball, and takes his deep shot to Big Daddy George, GP as they call him. And what does he do? He puts the sauce on sauce and scores a touchdown. And it was good to see this because this to me shows a difference in the Cowboys offense and the Cowboys team in general from years past, right? A lot of times you would see the Cowboys run a play and it didn't work, and either they wouldn't go back to it or they wouldn't adjust, and they would keep making the same mistake. As you see with this one, they saw what they did last time and saw that they missed an opportunity there, and instead of not going back to it, they're like, we'll go back this time. And instead of not taking the shot to GP, they do take it this time. And because of no safety help in the middle, so last time they had some safety help in the middle, which is why GP broke the route to the outside. This time there was no safety help over the middle, so he knew he could take that route inside, and Dak Prescott has so many yards of space to let that ball go. He just had to make sure he gave it enough room for Pickens to run up underneath it, and certainly he did. So let's take a look at another one. This is one of my favorite plays of the game here. You know, the Cowboys are leading early in the game, first quarter, and, we've been begging for situations like this for years, and we finally got it. So the Cowboys come out, and they, of course, they have been running the ball pretty effectively at this time. So, boom, you see Ryan Flanoy go in motion. You got one tight end here, fullback, running back there, and him going in motion. The Jets match it with, it looks like 6 guys in the box, honestly. So they're still not really respecting the Cowboys running game. Like, Dak could have checked out of this and decided to run right into that front, and they probably would have had some success with the way that they ran the ball in the game. But instead, they keep the play going. Flanoy goes back, so he went motion once. They throw him in motion again. All right, so here we go. Boom, play action, which is nice. The Cowboys are very good on play action. Dak Prescott is completing passes at about a 91% completion percentage this season on play action, so he's super dangerous, right? And perfect execution of the screen. Like, after the play fake here, Ferguson's selling this block, right? And when he's selling this block, what does that do? That sucks this guy in. That sucks this guy in. This guy's bailing because he's expecting Flanoy to come out there. And now all of a sudden, you don't have any of the things that we look for to be bad, which is an illegal man downfield. Nope, everybody's at the line of scrimmage. What do? After he turns him loose, and I could see it the minute he said boom. And when that happened live, I'm just looking and I see all the white shirts, right? And something that we talked about last year is you don't have to get a hat in a hat. All you have to do is get in the way and give your ball carrier lanes to cut back in. That's what Ferguson does. The best block on the play, honestly, was from Ryan. So if you look out there, Ryan Flanoy, out on his guy, he waits, boom. This is perfect technique. This is teach tape. He's just getting in the way. He doesn't even have to touch anybody, and it's a touchdown. This is how you teach a screen to be run. The receiver was perfect at it by keeping his hands down by his sides and probably having a clock in his head. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Ball has to be out by this point. Now I can go put hands on him and help my guy get into the end zone. All the other guys were just kind of walling off. And Ferguson, he had a walk-in touchdown. Beautiful play. We hope to see this a few more times this year because with the way the Cowboys run the ball, And then with the way they use their deep passing game, this is going to be open, and it's going to be open to so many people. It's going to be open to Ferguson. It's going to be open to Jaden Blue once he gets his thing going, and this will honestly also be open to some of the other tight ends. And I don't know if you want to see Brevin Spanford or big old Luke Schoonmaker coming down and trying to tackle those guys. Awesome play call, good knowing your team. And I love to see it from the Cowboys. So last play we're going to break down here, the big run, which was my favorite play of the game as well, or one of my favorite plays. The screenplay was actually my favorite play, but this is one of my favorite plays as well, just because this is talent, right? The plays we showed, there was execution there. There was some great timing there. This play is just pure talent, man. It's pure talent and 1-2. So the Cowboys are here and one tight end set, shotgun with the running back to the side. So let's take a look here. Boom, on a snap of the ball, when the ball gets handed, this guy's working upfield. He's a pretty good guy. This guy is free, so he can honestly just shoot, because if he's really thinking about it, how many times are you going to see Dak Prescott pull the ball and go? Never. You know what I'm saying? But you got Nate Thomas hair up on this guy. These guys block, block. And then so now you got Williams coming through. So now Williams has the ball. And what I like about this is this guy has a free run at Williams. And what I love about Javonte this year is it's very rare that the first guy takes this man down. He is running angry. Like he has a point to prove. Boom, puts that dude in the ground. Boom, runs his own guy over. He's like, nobody, I don't care who it is. Nobody's stopping me. And just runs and runs. It's so great. I mean, he ends up getting caught here at the end. But boy, oh boy, was this a huge, just gigantic run. The presence of mind to get out of bounds to save some of the clock as well. I mean, it was an awesome, awesome play here. And this was the play that actually kind of helped the Cowboys out, because they were just running this play to see what would happen going into the half, right? If they got a good play here, there's only 29 seconds left. If they got a decent game, then they were probably going to line up and go and try to see how fast they could go and what they could get for points. But instead, Javonte takes them all the way down to the 1 yard line. And now on the very next play, they score a touchdown. So it's just complimentary football, knowing your situations, but also having your play. This is talent. That's players making plays. And in years past, the Cowboys were doing things like playing Ezekiel Elliott and sitting Rico Dowdle. And we just saw what Rico Dowdle did this week. And just kind of, playing the players that the front office wanted to play, and not necessarily giving guys the chance who might have earned it. And this is what happens when you start to get people to buy into, hey, if we play well, we'll get time. And then when they get time, they're ready to make the most of their opportunity. These guys are not like the guys in years past with your Mike McCarthy regime and your Jason Garrett regime, where it was like they're playing the guys that they play. So I'm not going to get in. And I know this. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden somebody goes down, and now that guy that was like, I ain't going to get to play. Oh, shit, I'm in the game. What do I do? Instead, these guys believe each week that they're going to get a chance to play if they do the right things. And because of that, they're ready when they get in there. So let's hope we see a lot more of this. Hope we see a lot more improvement from the defense in the run game. They did have 5 sacks, so I guess sometimes you got to sacrifice in the run game, to kind of get after the quarterback. But I do believe there are some opportunities to clean things up. But that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit me up on Twitter at jmillerIYL. You can also hit me up on knockersonthebottom@outlook.com and knockersonthebottom@gmail.com. Leave comments or questions below. Anything that you want to say, just leave below and say it, man. If you have any questions, let me know and I'll answer them. Anything specific that you want me to cover. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm your host, J Mill if you like. Until next time, this has been Knockers on the Bottom. Peace.